Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back. So, we are in Stormworks, and we are just checking out some stuff here. So, the slurry will come out of here. It will go down. Then it's going to come back up to the ship where it's going to need to be processed, and then it can be fed into the system. So, what we need to determine here, this is slurry out. This is water in and slurry in. Okay, and then is there one on the top side? And this is water out. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to cycle the water through the filter. So that's the first thing we need to do. We need to cycle the fresh water through the filter. So we can probably use this here. Now there's no pumps. There's a pump in there which is going to take the water out. I guess I should test that and just to see. Yeah, let's test it and see. What gives us power to the winches? This guy here, the deck. So we'll turn that on and that on. And let's see if I can I could probably just connect that directly with a hose. But then we need a way of getting the water back into the tank. So, fluid. Alright, so what we're testing now is we're going to see is one pump enough to cycle the water. It should be. Let's see, turn on the deck. Turn on the lights. Alright, seems to be maintaining. That's good. Interesting. Okay, so that's alright. Now this is our slurry out. And this is our slurry in. So the slurry comes into the ship. Now I can't remember these. Okay, so I'll have to directly connect the buoy here. Oh no, I've got these ones here. Okay, so I can connect the buoy to the side. I'll tie it to the side. There we go. So this will feed slurry back down. And then we'll have to tie the buoy here, yeah, and then this will bring the slurry in. Okay, so that's how the filter works. So that should be alright, provided we have enough fresh water to keep up. We'll just have to test it out. In all the ones that I've tested, I've never used more than like 3,000 with the single filter, so it seems to be fairly balanced. Okay, now what we need to do is I need to weight the front of the ship down. even just a little bit more than that. Alright, now this is just a tug. Oil, tug. Guess I could turn it to day. Let's see. Settings. Nope, we want custom menu. Turn sea monsters off because I'm going to be testing it. And then current time, there we go. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Sits nice, sits nice. Yeah, it'll definitely do as an offshore vessel. Let's test it out. Let's take it out and test it on some waves. Let's see. Bridge. Engine. Systems. Can I set the RPS on this one? I think so. Alright, well, it doesn't have Whew. Oh yeah, there we go. Now there must be a heat sensor somewhere. I'll have to figure out wherever that is. Not bad, not bad. So we're cruising, All right, let's see how this thing can do in Storm. Waves should be all right. I'll be going a bit fast. There we go. So we'll have to slow down, obviously, in the storms. It's been a while since I've sailed in the game, so. Oh, and there's a tsunami coming. So probably what I'll have to do is I'll have to put an RPS limiter on this, and then it'll make it a lot easier to sail, especially in the big waves. Watching the RPS drop. I don't know where it's going to flatline. Hopefully, somewhere decent. Oh, that was a big wave. Good, so it can handle it anyways. That's the most important thing. Alright, so our at 05 it seems like we're alright. Still 20 RPS, that's not bad. Should close this door. For some reason, the steering wheel is inverted. There we go. Okay, so we can get rid of the storm. We can do that. It's nice and calm. Oh, there it is. There's the wave. There's the wave. Uh-oh. This is not good. Not good, not good. Oh, no. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Tried. We tried. Alright, so there's some equipment that we have on here as well that is usable. Okay, let me see if I can get back and forward here. And let's just crank the RPS up. Cruise is nice. Cruise is really nice. And these, oh, that's what this is. This is the, that was probably, I was going to put a monitor in here. Okay, that makes sense. For those. still a bit of work. Still a bit of work. Yeah, and you see how it's listing to the right? I mean, it kind of, you know, it has like it naturally rolls. Just a little bit. I'll have to get rid of a couple of those weights. Faster though. We go faster. Right, so now what we need to do is we need to set up the oil rig, or the drill. And I am going to need to make a barge to go with this, unfortunately, for the pipes. Maybe what this will do, yes, maybe what this will do is this will plant the well and then drill. Wow. Yeah, the last piece of the puzzle is the pipes. Now, I don't think they weigh very much. They weigh 10. Each rod weighs 10. And we would probably need a maximum of 20 rods. That's 200 feet. I don't know if I've ever drilled 200 feet through the crust. I don't know if I have yet. So, I mean, 100 feet through the crust, right? The reason why in the past I've had to carry so much pipe is because we're at the surface. And in most cases, you're at 150 to 200 feet before you get to the ocean floor. So that's like 10 to 15 pipes just to get to the ocean floor. And then drilling, I think the most I had to do was 7. So, you know, at a minimum, we want to have at least 100 feet of pipe. But I would try and double that. So, just trying to wonder how, you know, because that's going to be like, let's see. Two, 3, 4, 5. I could go 6. Maybe that's what I should do. Is just do 6. And then, I mean, if the most I've ever had to do was 7, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Because the pipe itself doesn't disappear. If I drop the pipe in the bay here, and I despawn the ship, the pipes will remain on the ocean floor until you collect them and put them back in the racks. Alright, so now I did say I needed to delete some of the weight. So here, probably try that. Alright, let's get a look, see, let's get a clean look. I think it looks alright. Doesn't seem to have too much an effect. Excellent. Okay, so now we have enough rod. Pretty well, now we're pretty well set up. What we need now is like a drill station. And then of course we need a way of, let's see, so we need some toggle buttons. Yeah, like I'm preparing to go to the moon. So this is kind of just more of a... Let's do something to get my brain going. Oh, did I need these to release the rods? I thought I needed to release them. I guess I can just grab them and take them out. All right, perfect. Yeah, so now what we need is a magnet. We need a magnet. So let's turn one of these into a magnet. And then we need the cable anchor. Cue the music. Alright, now I think the crane controls. We don't have a button for the magnet. So that's going to be button 4. Alright, I'm running out of time here, sadly. So let me just get this and see if I can test it and just see. We need some cables as well. Alright, spawn this in, see what happens here. Take the cable. Press 4, it is, has no electricity. Alright, there to there, and there to there. All these little things. Now this tug here we'll also need to set it up to recover the boosters from the space plane. Alright, and I'll take this here. should be on. Magnet toggle true, but it has no electricity, probably because deck power is off. Perfect. There we go. So that works. Magnet works. Be able to use the crane to lift the pipe into the water. Now, as far as getting it down to the drill site, this only goes 40 meters. This little winch here, so might have to change that. Because if we're deep down, we need deep water equipment, you know. Now this winch is so heavy. So heavy. It's so heavy, in fact, I'd be willing to bet here. Now, if we put this winch yeah, I can almost hold one more, it seems like I can almost hold one more. Almost. So, what am I getting at with this winch then? If I can almost hold one more, what it should do is... I wonder if we can do that. Yeah, actually we can. Ooh, exciting. Okay, so that is how we're going to get the pipes down. Guess we'll have to use this heavy equipment here. So now we need a seat in the front. And we'll need to figure out how exactly, like what I will likely need is a small crane. Let's see. So we'll take some track. We'll run it here. This is what I really enjoy about this. It's like problem solving. Okay, I want to do this. What do I need to do? And usually it's quite a lot. All right. And then what I can do, see, these things are going to want to flex. Once we get a lot of weight on it, they're going to want to flex. So to prevent them from flexing, we take this up here and we need this. Now that should hopefully prevent that from flexing. And then the other thing we need to do is we need to lock this in, right? So from here, what am I thinking? I am thinking that we need almost like a little crane. And this is going to have the equipment here. So when we pick the pipe up, the easiest way to make sure that the pipe is straight is, let's see, let's just say this comes out like that. And then from here, okay, what I found is the easiest way to pick up the pipe, make sure it's straight for everybody, is we need like, right? This is what I found picking up the logs. So we need something like this. And then in here, we're going to need our magnets. Right? We need a magnet there. And a magnet there. So once we have the pipe, like, it'll stay stuck to the magnet. Just stay stuck to the magnet. I don't foresee any issue. I haven't had any issues yet. So let's see. So what am I thinking here? What am I thinking? So we picked the pipe up. That might be for something else. So we have to pick the pipe up. Let me see here. Yeah, then it can rotate that way 90 degrees. Okay, and so we either do it from, what am I thinking here? I'm not sure. Let's see. Whoa, whatever that was. Let's see. Let's try cable. And if we have a connection on, we actually have to be in the middle. So that, this magnet is going to have to be there. I think I got this figured out. So now when it picks it up, that's going to be reasonably balanced. And what I would do is I would put a weight there. So hopefully it stays. Right? Then we're going to get rid of this. We're going to make a connector. Like that. And like that. So here, we just need a small winch. No, we need a bigger winch because we have to get the magnet to work. So we have that, right? So this cradle is attached to there. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And then what we want to do is do this here. And this here. There we go. So we'll pick the cradle up, move it over. It can even, it can just sit here and swing. And then I can pick the pipe up. And so long as one of these magnets takes the pipe, we should hopefully be able to get this thing to, yeah, there we go. Right, once the pipe is in there and we're lowering it down, we can then attach it to this winch here. Pretty much something like that. And then oh, angles, why you do this? Right, there we go. Cool. Right, and then that way when it comes back up, so then what we need to do is we need a couple of other attachments on here, just so that way if we need to, we can double handle it. And then we just need some cables here. So it's going to be a bit of a crawl to get up there. I think these cables can remain accessible. Just put them in the wall here. I think I can do that. Yeah, just sometimes we just have to think different. Just think a little creatively, a little more creatively, and we can completely change this. Now, you know, I could always store, I don't know if that would be too tall. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. If I store the pipe, oh, then that blocks that off. So that's kind of, if we get rid of that, and we stack the pipes here, no, that's not going to work at all. That's going to, unfortunately, there is just not enough room. I mean, I could put them on the outside too, but there's just not enough room. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. My only concern is with this. This here, I'm not sure, because I know I can pick the cradle up, and I know I can swing that this way a little bit, and then lower it down. Unless I want to reverse that, you know. Gee, I'm just not too sure. I'm just not too sure. Right, because otherwise, without all this equipment, we pick up the pipe here, right? Swing it over to here. We can connect something there to it, whatever. But then we have to lower it down into the water. And I mean, that as an individual pipe, it's going to be really hard to place kind of remotely. we'll have to go down there in a dive suit. Now, I don't know if the what the pressure rating is on it. 230 meters is as low as we can go with that. So almost deep water, but not quite. You know, it'd be really risky. We would need a submarine or something like that, right? To go that route. Whereas at least if we have it, I guess it's the same thing, really. I guess it's the same thing, really. We're going to end up having to go down there. It's challenging. It's very challenging. It's one of the challenging things about this game. Oil. It's different. So if we combine all these things together, we put that in the cradle. Cradle is going to help bring the pipe down. Problem is, in this case, we want it to be on one side, so it's kind of sitting flat. What am I trying to say here? We want to lower it like this into the water. Yeah, so the pipe is hanging this way. Okay, so we pick it up, we move it over to there, we see if we can grab a pipe and connect it to the magnets. So, let's do a couple of things. Let's build a station here. Let's get a toggle button. Let's get a throttle. And we'll get 2 more toggle buttons. Alright, and I'll just quickly connect these and test them. So this is going to be up. This is going to be down. This is going to be the magnet. And this is going to be our rotation. Now, we're going to make this slow. And what we're also going to do is we're going to turn the sensitivity down. And we're going to make that -1. We'll do that. Alright, so that's good. That's good. Can put the cable on it. The last thing we need to do is cut this off. Paste. All right. Okay, and then we just need a button, just a release button. Oh, let's do this one more time. We need a release button for the cradle. Now from here, we're going to turn Oh, you know, we need an ore on there. Because when we switch, we have to make sure that there's a signal on there. Otherwise, we're going to lose. The magnets will turn off. So that's why we'll need to double connect this. We'll have to connect this first, and then we'll have to connect that before we pick up the pipe. So let's just give it all a test. Now that we're building and sailing in the waves. Are we ready to... So, turn that on. Let's see, we need a cable. Now, I may not have connected the power. I better make sure. There, now they're all connected on the one side. Let's see, we need to turn it on. And then we get a cable. Perfect. That works. The cable isn't getting... Well, maybe there's no power to the winch. Maybe there's no power to the winch. Yeah, there's no power here, and there was no power there. Alright. And then, of course, that's going to need to be locked into place, so when we're swinging around, it doesn't move all around and smash the deck. Let's change the time again. Middle of the day. All right. What are we looking to do here? There we go. Okay, so we have that. The magnets work. And then if we connect it to the big one, well, I guess I don't have the on-off yet for the big one. All right, so can we make this thing swing a little bit? Just a little bit. cool. So far, so good. Now, that button there. Oh, releases the cradle. Whatever. Okay, so it releases it. So then on here, now the thing, yeah, these are the toggle, right? So one is going to be magnet, 2 down, 3 up, and it's just going to be the one winch. We just want to test the one winch, and then we'll connect it. So 1 magnet, 2 up, 3 down. Alright, and then it needs electricity. Alright, so it is going to need the electricity. So now that we're supplying electricity to it, let's test to see if the magnets stay active when we switch it. So what I'll have to do is keep this one plugged into the big winch, and like that. So now if I turn on the magnets, which is 1, okay, they remain on, and then of course if I turn on the magnets here, and they remain connected. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, so then what I would need to do is I could say release the cradle. So then, now what I need to do is I need to pick up the pipe and sort of get it aligned with the cradle here. Wow, what a pain in the butt. Oh, and it's, there we go. It's stuck. Oh my goodness, I got trapped. So almost had it. It kind of connected with the railing, and there's a few things there. There were a few things there. But I wonder if I can get it to come back over to this side. You know, you don't know until you try, right? So all we can do is there's the pipe there, you see. All we can do is design something. Ouch. And just go with it and see if, you know, does the design work. So far, it has potential. It has potential. Alright, so now that I can't get trapped down there, let's see, let's get this thing up a little bit. Okay, so I got one part of it. Now, if I... In theory, I could just lower it like that. Let's see. See how it behaves in the water. Let's drop it into the water, and we'll disconnect this one here. I have to change the speed of this winch, but that works. That kind of works. So you just have to get a good seat with the. You just have to get a good seat with it, and then. Something like that. I guess I could dive down. See if it'll pick it up again. Oh yeah. See? So it just needs a little bit more weight. Just needs to be tweaked a little bit. And of course these pipes are going to remain in the bay. So then what I'll probably do here is get a couple more weights. Just do that, and then that way it'll drop. It should drop quicker. So there's potential there. So it could potentially work. It just needs a little, not too sure. It needs something perhaps. We need a better way to like. clip the pipe, you know? Let's try that. Right, this is half of it here. If we can't get the pipe, we can't get the oil. So this is half of it. That's why it's really important to make sure that you've got as much of your bases covered. So we could even do that. We could release the cradle. So now, if I could grab one, it grabbed one. Oh, see, it grabbed it on that side. There's no way to pull this side down, right? I'm dumping all these pipes in the dumping all these pipes in there. Not easy. Oh, I know what I need to do. Okay, I know what I need to do here. Okay, so we need here. This is gonna solve this practical engineering. Here we go. So we'll do this and this. Get a couple of winches. These can just be small winches. Just like that. And then on this side, we just need some anchors. And we'll figure this out here. We'll need some anchors. Just like that. And the ropes. And the ropes. And then we just need Alright, so we have a little bit of rigging there. If we're able to restrain that there, let's try. Let's just gotta keep trying. got to be a way to get a better seat in there. There's got to be a way to get a better seat in there. So, right, so if I take a rope here and take this end here, oh, that's perfect. It's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. So then we have to return the rope. We get another cable. Oh, actually, yeah. So in this case, we could lower it from there. So what we want to do in this case then, is we need temporary electricity. Oh, and then I guess I'll have to connect this for the magnet as well. I suppose it don't matter. Anyways, so we'll do one for the magnet, and then we'll let out a little bit, and we'll see if I'll have to get this off the boat. There it is. Just like that. Way. There we go. So I guess it's all kind of the same. I'll have to put one of those nodes on the other side. We'll need a node on both sides. Just in case it gets picked up on the other side, then we need another ore on there. There we go. So one of those is all connected. I'll have to do the other one on my own, and that's fine. So we sort of have the cradle figured out a little bit. I could extend these winches just a little bit, just to make it easier. Perfect. And that is pretty well that. And then of course we need the connectors. Because we need to walk the crane. So it doesn't swing around and smash when we're in the high violet seas. Okay, perfect. So that should work. Should hopefully be enough to keep everything sorted together. And now I need to connect the other side. Yeah, and then we'll be ready. We will be ready. So the next step is going to be getting this ready. We need to add logic to it. And then we need to make sure that we're able to, so the pipe will come down here, and when I get into about this range, we'll turn the magnets on. We're gonna need to have cameras, so we'll have to figure that out, right? We'll have to figure out optics and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and of course we'll somehow tie this into missiles somewhere along the way, I'm sure. We'll tie this into missiles. So that's it. We now have a tugboat that's good for oil and gas as well, which is really exciting. Whoa. Yeah, just a couple of relaxing videos on a Sunday. You know, I thought, hey, why not? Let's get into the water and see what's going on. Try and do something fun. So there's the pipes that we got down there. And now we're ready. We're ready. We can process the slurry. We can do everything with this vehicle. Send down pipe that we need to. Yeah, now we need to connect it. So like there's going to be surface work. And then of course, once surface work is out of the way and we've lowered it down, there's going to be below deck work, I guess. I'm not too sure we'll have to tie this in somehow. Right, maybe there'll be a station here. Yeah, there's going to need to be a station here, I think, with a camera sort of set up. Let's see if we can concept that real quickly, and then that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you again so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. You are all awesome. Lots of content coming up here. I think I can squeeze by there. So then what we need is we'll need a monitor. May as well make it a 3x3. Right, so this will be our drill station on the front of the ship, and then of course there's going to be buttons in here. There's going to be a few things in there. So that is going to allow us to see. We'll have to figure out where we want our camera on the below water. Oh yeah, so this will have to get access to from here. Cool, and I can still come around to the front of the ship. Good, good, good. Oh, he's in bad shape. Where's he going? He's going fast, holy. So yeah, so we'll turn that monitor on, and then that's going to allow us to see what we need to see. And that is what we now need to set up here. Where we want the cameras, like, you know, what we need to see, all that kind of stuff. Which I know we're going to need a camera here. It's going to be interesting. And we'll have to be able to see, like, when the magnets are on. So I'll need to put lights on it, right? Because what if it gets dark? It'll be dark down here. We're going to need lights on this thing. We'll have to really go over it and test it out. But anyways, that'll be the third video. Hopefully that'll be the final video, and then we can drill the test. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Liking and subscribing. You guys are awesome. And I hope you're enjoying these wacky building videos. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next one.